What if I told you the future of smartphones is no longer just about power or cameras, but about reimagining what a phone can actually do for you? This is not just an upgrade. This is a statement. A redefinition of the device we touch more than anything else in our daily lives.
The iPhone 17 Pro and the iPhone 17 Pro Max are here.
And they don't just look familiar. They feel like the beginning of a new chapter. At first glance, your eyes might tell you nothing has changed. The same polished edges. The same iconic silhouette. The same luxurious finish. But look closer, and you'll see Apple's most daring design shift in years. The plateau. A new raised section up top, unlike anything you've seen before on an iPhone. At first, you might question it. Why change something so timeless? But then, the truth reveals itself. That plateau is not just design. It's function. It's where Apple houses the next generation of thermal cooling with a vapor chamber. It's where they fit in upgraded camera hardware that pushes photography to the next frontier. It's where form and function meet in a way that only Apple could dare to execute. Inside this reimagined frame sits the beating heart of the iPhone 17 Pro, the A19 Pro chip. It's not just a processor. It's a declaration. 40% improved sustained performance. Better CPU efficiency. A GPU designed for next-generation visuals, mobile gaming, and professional-level editing on the go. This isn't about small gains. It's about redefining what a smartphone should be capable of. Think about it. Our phones are no longer just tools. They are cameras. They are creative studios. They are workstations. They are entertainment hubs. And with the A19 Pro, the iPhone 17 Pro doesn't just keep up. It leads. But raw performance isn't the only story here.
Let's turn to the camera system.
Because this is where the iPhone 17 Pro makes its boldest claim.
Yes, the triple lens system returns.
But the highlight is new.
A 48 megapixel telephoto lens. A true jump in capability.
Not just 4x zoom at 100 millimeters, but up to 8x zoom with clarity that feels impossible on a smartphone. Think about what that means.
A stadium shot, crystal clear.
A portrait from across the park, detailed and sharp. Moments you once thought were out of reach, now right in your hands. And it's not just about zoom. The photonic engine, Apple's computational photography breakthrough, elevates every image.
Better low-light detail. Sharp edge.
More lifelike colors. Every frame feels like it has been touched by artistry. It's photography powered by physics, but elevated by intelligence. Flip the phone over and you're holding something that feels new yet timeless. A dual material design that blends aluminum unibody with ceramic shielding. It recalls Apple's history, the days of the MacBook Air unibody, where engineering met beauty in one seamless piece. But this time, it's even more ambitious. That construction allows for a larger battery. It allows for strength without weight. It allows Apple to do what many said was impossible, pack more power into the same slim profile.
Ceramic Shield 2 protect it all.
Stronger. More resistant to scratches and drops.
3 times the protection up front. 4 times on the back. A shield against the everyday chaos of life.
But innovation doesn't stop with materials. The front-facing camera has transformed into something you've never experienced before.
18 megapixel. Square sensor.
Center stage built directly into iPhone. You are always the focus. Always centered.
Always sharp.
Whether you're making video calls, recording content, or capturing spontaneous moments, the iPhone 17 Pro adapts. It tracks. It zooms. It rotates seamlessly. Portrait to landscape without lifting a finger. It feels effortless. Like the phone already knows what you want before you do. That's design. That's Apple. And then there's battery life. Because all of this innovation would mean nothing if the phone couldn't keep up with you. The iPhone 17 Pro Max now offers up to 40 hours of use. Think about that. From 33 to 40 hours. That's nearly 2 full days of life in a device you never want to put down. Performance and efficiency working in harmony. That's the payoff of the A19 Pro and the new thermal design. And when it comes to storage, Apple is done playing small. Up to 2 terabytes.
2 terabytes in your pocket.
The kind of capacity that once belonged only to computers, now on your phone.
Every photo. Every video. Every memory. Every project.
Stored. Safe. Ready. This isn't just about specs. It's about confidence. The confidence that your phone is no longer a limitation. It's a liberation. The iPhone 17 Pro and 17 Pro Max are Apple at its boldest. They're not reinventing the wheel. They're perfecting it. They're not just giving us features. They're giving us possibilities. For the creators.
For the dreamer. For the professional.
For the everyday users who just want the best. This is a new kind of iPhone. One that's built for the next decade, not just the next year.
The plateau, the power, the photography, the protection, the performance, every detail point to one truth.
The future has arrived. And it fits in the palm of your hand. Imagine holding a device that's thinner than your wallet yet has the power of a console in your pocket. That's no longer science fiction.
With the A19 Pro chip and advanced GPU architecture, the iPhone 17 Pro transforms the way we think about mobile gaming.
This isn't about casual puzzle apps or time killers. This is about full AAA gaming experiences that were once tied to desktops and high-end consoles. Apple has unlocked sustained performance with a brand new vapor chamber cooling system. Heat, the enemy of every device, has been tamed. Where other phones throttle and stutter under pressure, the iPhone 17 Pro keeps running at peak performance longer. Imagine playing an intense online battle without sudden frame drops. Imagine exploring expansive open-world games in stunning detail without worrying about your phone overheating in your hands. It's not just gaming anymore. It's immersion. The plateau design isn't a gimmick, it's a solution. It creates the space for components that transform the iPhone into a performance machine. This is Apple's message: power without compromise. But power is only part of the story. Let's talk about real-world use. Everyday moments that feel transformed when filtered through this kind of technology.
You wake up in the morning and your iPhone 17 Pro is sweating.
The display greets you with brighter colors, truer blacks, and smoother refresh rates that feel more like a window than a screen.
You head out, camera ready, and suddenly you see something. A skyline, a sunset, your child logging. You raise the iPhone 17 Pro. The 48 megapixel telephoto lock-in. Zoom closer.
Closer. The detail is still there. The sharpness holds. The photonic engine works quietly in the background, pulling in light, balancing tones, keeping colors natural. You don't think about the technology.
You just live in the moment.
And that's the beauty of it. Later, you're on a video call. The center stage camera shifts effortlessly, keeping you centered even as you move. Your friend notices how clear you look. They notice the background blur that feels cinematic.
It doesn't look like a call anymore.
It looks like a production.
Now imagine you're traveling.
Battery anxiety used to follow you everywhere. But with up to 40 hours of life on the Pro Max, that worry is gone. You're capturing photos all day.
Streaming video at night.
And your phone still has life left the next morning. That's not just convenience. That's freedom. Apple knows that confidence in battery life changes behavior. When you trust your phone to last, you use it differently. You explore. You create.
You connect.
And when you need storage, 2 terabytes is waiting. That's not just a number. That's security. That's peace of mind, knowing you never have to delete a memory just to make space for another. But Apple's genius isn't only in the raw specs. It's in the ecosystem.
Because when you hold the iPhone 17 Pro, you're not holding just a phone.
You're holding the gateway to a seamless digital universe. AirPods connect instantly, no pairing required. Your MacBook recognizes it as a camera and microphone.
Your Apple Watch on-off notification without a thought.
It feels less like a set of devices and more like one living system. Competitors try to match performance. Some even surpass it in isolated benchmarks. But no one matches the integration.
No one makes technology this invisible.
And invisibility is the ultimate goal. Technology that works so smoothly you forget it's there.
You just live your life, and the iPhone fade into the background. That is design.
That's intention. That's Apple. Now picture this scenario. You're an artist.
You shoot video on your iPhone 17 Pro.
The new telephoto captures crisp shots at impossible distances. The photonic engine ensures detail even in low light. You edit directly on the phone, powered by the A19 Pro chip, with the smoothness of a desktop system.
You store terabytes of project without ever plugging in a hard drive.
And you deliver content instantly across platforms. That's not just convenience. That's empowerment. This is what Apple means when they say Pro. Not just a label. A tool for those who push limits. And yet, it doesn't alienate the everyday user. Because simplicity is still at the heart. For someone who just wants a reliable phone, the iPhone 17 Pro is that. For someone who wants a camera that makes memories shine, it's that too.
It adapts to you. It meets you where you are. Déteste the secret.
And let's not ignore durability. Life is unpredictable. Drops happen.
Scratch happen.
But with Ceramic Shield 2, the iPhone is tougher than ever.
3 times stronger on the front. 4 times on the back.
It's not indestructible, but it's resilient. And resilience builds trust. Trust.
That your phone will survive life with you.
This all leads to a bigger truth. The iPhone 17 Pro and Pro Max are not just about this year. They're about the future. They're built to last longer. To handle the apps and experiences we haven't even imagined yet. To stay powerful and relevant for years, not months. Because when Apple builds, they don't build for the now. They build for what's next. And what's next is already in your hand.
The iPhone 17 Pro. The iPhone 17 Pro Max. Not just a smartphone.
But the beginning of what comes after smartphones. Think about the last time a phone made you stop and just admire it. Not because of the specs on paper, but because it felt alive in your hand. That's the energy the iPhone 17 Pro brings. It's not just hardware. It's a design that demands attention. Matte finishes that absorb light like velvet. Shimmering edges that catch the sun and remind you this isn't just a tool, it's art. People notice. When you pull it out of your pocket, heads turn. When you place it on a table, it doesn't disappear, it owns the space. This is Apple understanding that form is as important as function. Because a device you use every day should inspire you. Now let's step into a story.
You're traveling.
It's golden hour in Paris.
You're standing by the Seine.
The light is perfect, but fleeting.
You raise your iPhone 17 Pro.
The new telephoto zoom stretches across the water. You frame the Eiffel Tower with precision, no bulky equipment needed.
You capture the shot.
It looks cinematic. You post it instantly.
The world sees Paris through your eyes.
That's storytelling power in your pocket. And it's not just photos. Video recording has become its own revolution. Cinematic mode feels more refined, more professional. The photonic engine pulls in details even when the streets get darker.
Noise fade.
Clarity rises.
Your night film doesn't look like phone footage anymore.
It looks like cinema. Directors and YouTubers alike will lean into this. Because when the barrier to entry falls, creativity rises. The iPhone 17 Pro is the great equalizer for creators. And then there's the everyday user. Parents capturing their kids' first steps.
Travelers recording a mountain sunrise.
Friends filming concerts with clarity that cuts through the chaos. Everyone becomes a storyteller.
And Apple knows this.
They're not selling a phone. They're selling identity. The identity of someone who captures life in the best possible way.
Now let's step into another story. You're a professional on the move.
Your day is stacked with meetings, travel, and deadlines.
The iPhone 17 Pro become your command center.
You flip between apps effortlessly thanks to the A19 Pro chip. You use FaceTime with center stage during a call, and your clients are impressed not just with your presentation, but with the clarity of your video feed.
You open massive spreadsheet.
You edit slides. You multitask at a level that doesn't feel like mobile anymore.
It feels like desktop power in your hand.
And when the day ends, the battery still has life left. You're not searching for an outlet in the airport.
You're free. That is what separates a pro device from the rest.
It doesn't just meet needs. It anticipates them. Now let's zoom out to Apple's strategy. Other companies chase specs.
They shoot about number, megapixel, gigahertz, wattage.
Apple speaks in experiences. Instead of 8x zoom, Apple says, you can capture your child's smile from across the soccer field. Instead of 40 hours of battery life, Apple says, you can travel all weekend without worrying about your phone dying.
It's emotional storytelling.
It's technology humanized. And that's why Apple dominates. Because people don't buy specs. They buy feelings.
Feeling of prestige.
Feelings of belonging. Feelings of confidence that what they hold is the best. And while rivals may compete in certain areas, none do it with this cohesion.
Samsung might push foldable. Google might push AI photography.
Xiaomi might push extreme charging speeds. But Apple pushes integration. Ecosystem. A phone that feels less like a separate product and more like part of your life. That's hard to replicate. Because it's not one innovation. It's layers of design, hardware, and software working in harmony. That's why when you switch from iPhone to another brand, it feels like something's missing. Not because the other phone is bad, but because it isn't Apple. And here's the genius. Apple doesn't even need to win every spec battle. They win the narrative. They win the desire.
End désir cell. Now imagine the iPhone 17 Pro 5 years from now. Still running strong. Still relevant.
Still holding resale value in a way most phones never do. That's longevity as a feature. It's not just an investment in today.
It's insurance for tomorrow.
And that's why people pay Apple prices.
Not just for the now.
For the years ahead. Think of it this way. If the iPhone 17 Pro were a car, it wouldn't be the fastest on paper. But it would be the one that starts every morning, looks stunning in your driveway, lasts for years, and makes you proud every time you drive it. That's the difference. It's not just technology. It's trust. Trust that every detail has been considered. Trust that what you bought today won't feel old tomorrow. And trust that Apple will keep building the future around it. Because the iPhone isn't just adapting to the world.
The world adapt to the iPhone. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine the first Apple commercial you ever saw.
It wasn't about specs. It wasn't about numbers. It was about how the product made you feel.
Silhouette dancing with iPod.
Think different campaigns that celebrated rebels and visionaries. Shots of grandparents FaceTiming their grandchildren. Moments that transcended technology. That's the magic Apple brings with the iPhone 17 Pro. They don't just sell a phone. They sell moments. Imagine the ad campaign for this device. Golden light spilling across a city skyline. A traveler standing on a rooftop with their iPhone raised. The shot zooms effortlessly into the distance, capturing details across the horizon.
No bulky camera rig. No complicated setup.
Just a person, a phone, and a vision. And when Apple releases that ad, millions don't see hardware. They see possibility. They see themselves in the story. That's how Apple wins hearts before they even ship a product. Now let's talk about the plateau. That slight design change some might overlook. It's not just a housing for components. It's the symbol of progress.
The plateau whisper, without of everything.
From the vapor chamber cooling to the restructured camera system, it's proof that Apple hides complexity inside simplicity. Other companies might make bold, aggressive designs to scream power. Apple refines.
Apple soften.
Apple makes power look effortless. And that subtlety is more powerful than shouting.
Now, let's step into the world of rival.
Samsung pushes the Galaxy Ultra with massive zooms. Impressive, yes, but often criticized for being too big, too heavy, too much.
Google lean into AI magic, removing photo bomber, reshaping ski, altering memory.
But some worry, does that cross into artificial instead of authentic?
Apple takes a different path.
The iPhone 17 Pro says, we don't alter your memory. We preserve it. We don't overwhelm you with complexity.
We let you focus on the moment.
And that's where loyalty builds. Because authenticity lasts longer than gimmicks.
Now picture a scene.
It's late at night. You're at a rooftop party.
The city glow at you. You raise the iPhone 17 Pro.
The photonic engine works silently. The details of the skyline are sharp. The faces of your friends are clear. No grain. No blur. The photo looks like it was shot by a professional.
The difference?
You didn't need a camera bag. You just needed your phone. That's the democratization of technology. Apple gives professional tools to everyday users. And everyday users become creators.
The line blur.
That's why platforms like Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube thrive. Because Apple supplies the tools for people to share stories that feel cinematic. And when 1 billion people carry that power, culture changes. It's not exaggeration. It's reality. Entire industries of influencers, filmmakers, musicians, and entrepreneurs exist because of the iPhone. And the iPhone 17 Pro continues that legacy. Now let's think about the future. If the iPhone today feels this powerful, what about tomorrow? What about when Apple finally blends iPhone with augmented reality? What about when the plateau houses not just cameras and cooling, but sensors that transform how we see the world?
The iPhone 17 Pro is the bridge.
It's not just about now. It's about preparing us for what's coming. Phones that feel like glasses. Screens that disappear into reality. Computing that feels more human than digital. The iPhone 17 Pro is the training ground for that future. It builds trust so that when Apple says, "Here's the next leap," people are ready.
Because Apple never sells just a product.
They sell a path. A vision. Now imagine being one of the first to own the iPhone 17 Pro.
You walk into the Apple Store.
It gleams on the table.
You pick it up.
It feels dense but balanced.
Cool to touch. Premium in every sense.
You swipe.
The screen flow like water.
Colors pop.
Every detail sing.
You smile. Because in that moment, you don't feel like you bought a phone.
You feel like you stepped into the future.
And that's what Apple does best. They don't just sell phones. They sell the future. Wrapped in aluminum, glass, and intention. And they let you hold it in your hand. That's why, generation after generation, the iPhone remains the most iconic device on Earth. It's not about incremental upgrades. It's about evolution that feels personal. It's about making every year feel like progress.
And the iPhone 17 Pro?
It's not just progress. It's a statement. A reminder that innovation isn't slowing down. It's
accelerating.
And with it, so are we. Remember the date, September 19th, boom.